How do you say Levalbuterol? Welcome to the 20th episode in my drug name pronunciation series here on the Pharmacist Voice podcast. This is episode 240 overall. I'm Kim Newlove, the host, and today we are talking about Levalbuterol. If you're new to my drug name pronunciation series, welcome. In this series, I break drug names down into syllables, explain which syllable or syllables have the emphasis, and reveal the source of the information. Then I put the written pronunciations in the show notes on the pharmacistvoice.com so you can see them and use them right away. The purpose of my drug name pronunciation episodes is to provide the intended pronunciations of drug names from reliable sources so that you feel more confident saying them and less frustrated learning them. Let's get started. Levalbuterol HCl is the generic name, but we typically drop that second word, HCl or hydrochloride, in conversation. So today I'll just say Levalbuterol. Levalbuterol is the generic name, Xopenex is the brand name. What is Levalbuterol? Patients may call this their asthma medicine or their rescue inhaler. Officially, it's a beta-2 agonist bronchodilator. Levalbuterol is available as an HFA inhaler or an inhalation solution. Either one works within minutes to make breathing easier. Let's get into the pronunciation of Levalbuterol and Xopenex. Yes, we'll do both. First up is Levalbuterol. Levalbuterol has 5 syllables. Lev like levitate, al like my uncle's first name is Al, bu, which rhymes with the number 2, like terrific, and all, which sounds a lot like all, A-L-L, when you say levalbuterol at a conversational pace. Put that all together and you get levalbuterol. Emphasize lev and bu. Bu officially gets the most emphasis. See if you can hear the emphasis when I say it slowly. Levalbuterol. Let's move on to Xopenex. Like many brand name drugs, Xopenex only has 3 syllables. They are Zo, which rhymes with toe, pen, like the writing instrument, pen, and X, like the letter in the alphabet, X. Put that all together and you get Xopenex. Emphasize the first syllable Zo, Xopenex. I'll say it slowly. Xopenex. Xopenex. All right, there you have it. Levalbuterol and Xopenex. Both written pronunciations are in the show notes, which you can find on thepharmacistvoice.com. Click on the podcast tab and then find episode 240. How did I know how to say Levalbuterol and Xopenex? 2 different sources of information. For Levalbuterol, I consulted the USP Dictionary online. That is a subscription-based drug name reference if you haven't heard of it, the USP Dictionary online. I have a link to it in the show notes, which you can find at thepharmacistvoice.com. I am not compensated in any way for mentioning it, by the way. Now, the USP Dictionary online breaks down drug names into syllables and shows you the written pronunciations. It's a lot like what I'm doing verbally. Now, the USP Dictionary also offers you a pronunciation guide so you know if the vowels are long or short. Great info. The downside is that they don't provide the verbal pronunciations, and the reference itself is not free. But it is a wonderful reference. I love it, and I highly recommend it, especially if you constantly are looking up how to pronounce drug names. The USP Dictionary online is where you'll find just about any generic or non-proprietary drug name here in the United States. They have the correct pronunciations. I love it. Thanks as always to the USP Legal Department for allowing me to publish your written pronunciations in my podcast show notes. Much appreciated. All right, let's move on. Next, where did I find the pronunciation of Xopenex? This one's very straightforward. It's in the package insert for Xopenex, which you can find on the FDA's website or by Googling the phrase Xopenex package insert. In fact, when you Google Xopenex package insert, the FDA's website will likely come up with the package insert in your search results. So once you get the package insert, go to section 17, which is the patient counseling information, and you will find it there, the pronunciation of Xopenex. When I say the pronunciation is there, it's the written pronunciation broken down into syllables, and often the syllable with the emphasis is indicated. In this case, that is the first syllable, zo. All right. Real quick, before I wrap up this episode, this has a bonus, okay? There's at least one person listening to this wondering why it is not pronounced levalbuterol or levoalbuterol. If that is you, here's your answer. It is not the levo isomer. When I first looked at the word levalbuterol, I thought it said levo too. So if you got fooled, you're not alone. For further clarification and some nerdy chemistry, here's some information about why it's not levoalbuterol or levalbuterol. My source, by the way, is DailyMed. DailyMed is a resource on the National Library of Medicine's website. Here's what it says. Albuterol is composed of equal parts of a racemic mixture of R and S enantiomers. Levalbuterol is composed only of the active R enantiomer. So if you think about it, levalbuterol is actually dextralbuterol, not levoalbuterol. Dexter goes with R and levo goes with S. S is the inactive enantiomer. Take a look. There's a link to DailyMed in the show notes. This drug name is levalbuterol, not levalbuterol or levoalbuterol. Again, levalbuterol is correct. Let's wrap this up. Thank you for joining me today to learn how to say levalbuterol and Xopenex. To find the show notes for this episode, go to thepharmacistvoice.com, click on the podcast tab, and search for episode 240. In the show notes, you'll find the written pronunciations of levalbuterol and Xopenex, a link to the USP Dictionary online, a link to the pronunciation guide for the dictionary, which is available at no cost on the American Medical Association's website. You'll find my social media links and more. If you know someone who needs to learn how to say levalbuterol or Xopenex, please share this episode with them. And if you like this podcast, please subscribe to or follow the Pharmacist Voice podcast on your favorite podcast player and YouTube to get each new episode right when it comes out. Thanks for listening today. I'll talk to you next Friday.